And when the children of men began to multiply on the surface of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the angels of the Lord saw in a certain year at that Jubilee, that they were good to look at, and they took wives for themselves from all those whom they chose, and they bore children for them, and they were the giants. And injustice increased upon the earth, and all the flesh corrupted its way, man and cattle and beasts and birds and everything which walks upon the earth. And they all corrupted their way and their ordinances, and they began to eat one another. And injustice grew upon the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of all mankind was thus continually evil. And the Lord saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupted, and all flesh had corrupted its order, and all who were upon the earth had done every sort of evil in his sight. And he said, I will wipe out man and all flesh which I have created from upon the surface of the earth. But Noah alone found favor in the sight of the Lord. And against his angels whom he had sent to the earth he was very angry. He commanded that they be uprooted from all their dominion. And he told us to bind them in the depths of the earth. Behold, they are bound in the midst of them, and they are isolated. And against their children a word went forth from before his presence, so that he might smite them with the sword, and remove from them from under heaven. And he said, My spirit will not dwell upon man forever, for they are flesh, and their days will be 110 years. And he sent the sword among them, so that each one might kill his fellow. And they began to kill one another, until they all fell on the sword, and they were wiped out from the earth. And their parents also watched, and subsequently they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of great judgment, in order for judgment to be executed upon all those who corrupted their ways and their deeds before the Lord. And he wiped out every one from their places, and not one of them remained whom he did not judge according to all his wickedness. And he made for all his works a new and righteous nature, so that they might not sin in all their nature forever, and so that they might be all righteous, each in his kind, always. And the judgment of all of them had been ordained and written in the heavenly tablets without injustice. And if any of them transgress from their way with respect to what was ordained for them to walk in, or if they do not walk in it, the judgment for every sort of nature and every kind has been written. And there is nothing excluded which is in heaven or on earth, or in the light, or in the darkness, or in Sheol, or in the depths, or in the places of darkness. And all their judgments are ordained, written, and engraved. And he will judge concerning every one, the great one according to his greatness, and the small one according to his smallness, and each one according to his way. And he is not one who accepts persons, and he is not one who accepts gifts, when he says that he will execute judgment upon each one. If one gave everything which is in the earth, he would not accept gifts or persons, and he would not accept anything from his hand, because he is a righteous judge. And for the children of Israel it has been written and ordained, if they return to him in righteousness, he will forgive all of their sins, and he will pardon all of their transgressions. It is written and it is ordained, he will have mercy upon all who return from their error, once each year. But to any who corrupted their way and their counsel before the flood, he did not show partiality, except Noah alone, for he showed partiality to him for the sake of his sons, whom he saved from the waters of the flood, and for his sake, because his heart was righteous in all of his ways, just as it was commanded concerning him, and he did not transgress anything which was ordained for him. And the Lord said, Let everything which is upon dry land be blotted out, men and cattle and beasts and birds of the heaven, and whatever moves on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make an ark for himself, so that he might save himself from the water of the flood. And Noah made an ark in all respects, just as he commanded him in the 22nd Jubilee of years, in the 5th week, in the 5th year. And he entered in it the 6th year, and in the 2nd month, on the 1st of the 2nd month, until the 16th day. And he and everything which was brought to him entered into the ark. And the Lord shut it up from outside on the evening of the 17th. And the Lord opened the 7 floodgates of heaven, and the mouths of the springs of the great deep were 7 mouths in number. And these floodgates sent water down from heaven 40 days and 40 nights. And the springs of the deep sent up water until the whole world was full of water. And the water increased upon the earth. 15 cubits the water rose over every tall mountain. And the ark rose from upon the earth, and it moved upon the surface of the water. And all of the water stayed upon the surface of the earth 5 months, 150 days. And the ark went and rested on the top of Lubar, one of the mountains of Ararat. And in the 4th month the springs of the great deep were closed, and the floodgates of heaven were held shut. And on the new moon of the 7th month all of the mouths of the deeps of the earth were opened, and the water began to go down into the depths below. And on the 1st of the 10th month the heads of the mountains appeared, and on the 1st of the 1st month the land appeared. And the water dried up from upon the earth in the 5th week, in its 7th year. And on the 17th day in the 2nd month the land was dry. And on its 27th day he opened the ark, and he sent out of it the beasts, the cattle, and birds, and whatever moved. And on the 1st of the 3rd month he went out of the ark, and he built an altar on that mountain, and he made atonement for the land. And he took the kid of a goat, and he made atonement with its blood for all the sins of the land, because everything which was on it had been blotted out, except those who were in the ark with Noah. And he offered up the fat upon the altar. And he took a calf, a goat, a lamb, salt, a turtle dove, and a young dove, and he offered up a burnt offering on the altar. And he placed upon them an offering kneaded with oil. And he sprinkled wine, and placed frankincense upon everything. And he offered up a sweet aroma which was pleasing before the Lord. And the Lord smelled the sweet aroma, and he made a covenant with him, so that there might not be flood waters which would destroy the earth. All the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, would not cease. Cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, will not change their ordinances or cease forever. But as for you, increase and be multiplied on the earth, and become many upon it, and become a blessing upon it. Fear and terror of you I will set upon everything which is on the land or in the sea. And behold, I have given you all of the beasts, and everything which flies, and everything which moves upon the earth, and in the water, the fish and everything, for food like the green herbs. And I have given you everything so that you might eat. But flesh which is filled with life, that is, with blood, you shall not eat, because the life of all flesh is in the blood, lest your blood be sought for your lives. From the hand of every man, from the hand of every creature, I will seek the blood of a man. Whoever pours out the blood of a man, by a man his blood shall be poured out, because in the image of the Lord he made Adam. And as for you, increase and become many in the land. And Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood which is in any flesh. And he made a covenant before the Lord God forever, in all the days of the generation of the earth in that month. Therefore he spoke to you, so that you might also make a covenant with the children of Israel, with an oath in this month upon the mountain. And you will sprinkle blood upon them on account of all the words of the covenant which the Lord made with them for all time. This testimony is written concerning you, so that you might keep it always, lest you ever eat any blood of the beasts of the birds or cattle throughout all the days of the earth. And the man who eats the blood of the beasts or cattle or birds throughout all the days of the earth shall be uprooted, and his seed from the earth. And you command the children of Israel not to eat any blood, so that their names and seed might be before the Lord God always. And there is no limit of days for this law, because it is forever. They shall keep it for their generations, so that they might make supplication on your behalf with blood before the altar on every day. And at the hour of daybreak and evening they will seek atonement for their own behalf continually before the Lord, so that they might guard it and not be rooted out. And he gave a sign to Noah and his children, that there should not again be flood upon the earth. And he set his bow in the clouds for a sign of the covenant which is forever, that the water of the flood should therefore not be upon the earth, to destroy it all of the days of the earth. Therefore it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets that they should observe the feast of Shavuot in this month, once per year, in order to renew the covenant in all respects, year by year. And all of this feast was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation until the days of Noah, 26 jubilees and 5 weeks of years. And Noah and his children kept it for 7 jubilees and 1 week of years, until the day of the death of Noah. And from the day of the death of Noah his sons corrupted it until the days of Abraham, and they ate blood. But Abraham alone kept it, and Isaac and Jacob and his sons kept it until your days. But in your days the children of Israel forgot it, until you renewed it for them on this mountain. And you command the children of Israel, so that they might keep this feast in all their generations as a commandment to them. 1 day per year in this month they shall all celebrate the feast. For it is the feast of Shavuot, and it is the feast of the first fruits. This feast is twofold, and of two natures, just as it is written and engraved concerning it. Observe it. This is because I have written it in the book of the first law which I wrote for you, so that you might observe it in each of its appointed times, 1 day per year. And I have told you its sacrificial offerings, so that the children of Israel might remember them and observe them in their generations, in this month, 1 day each year. And on the first of the first month, and on the first of the fourth month, and on the first of the seventh month, and on the first of the 10th month are the days of remembrance, and they are the days of appointed times in the 4 parts of the year. They are written and inscribed for an eternal witness, and Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for eternal generations, because they were a memorial for him. And on the first day of the first month he was told to make an ark, and on it the land dried up, and he opened up and saw the land. And on the first of the 4th month the mouths of the deeps of the abysses which were beneath were shut. And on the first of the 7th month all of the mouths of the depths of the earth were opened, and the water began to go down into them. On the first of the 10th month the heads of the mountains appeared, and Noah rejoiced, and therefore he ordained them for himself as feasts of remembrance forever. And thus they are ordained. And they set them upon the heavenly tablets. Each one of them is 13 weeks from one to another of the remembrances, from the first to the second, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. And all the days which will be commanded will be 52 weeks of days, and all of them are a complete year. Thus it is engraved and ordained on the heavenly tablets, and there is no transgressing in a single year, from year to year. And you command the children of Israel, so that they shall guard the years in this number, 364 days. And it will be a complete year, and no one shall corrupt its appointed time from its days or from its feasts, because all of the appointed times will arrive in them according to their testimony. And they will not pass over a day, and they will not corrupt a feast. But if they are transgressed, and they do not observe them according to his commandment, then they will corrupt all of their fixed times. And the years will be moved from within this order, and they will transgress their ordinances. And all of the sons of Israel will forget, and they will not find the way of years. And they will forget all of the new moons, and the appointed times, and Sabbaths. And they will set awry all of the ordinances of the years. For I know, and henceforth I shall make you to know, not from my own heart, because this book is written before me, and it is ordained in the heavenly tablets of the division of days, lest they forget the feasts of the covenant, and walk in the feasts of the Gentiles, after their errors, and after their ignorance. And there will be those who will examine the moon diligently, because it will corrupt the appointed times, and will advance from year to year 10 days. Therefore the years will come to them as corrupt, and they make the day of testimony a reproach, and a profane day and a festival. And they will mix up everything, a holy day as profaned, and a profane one for a holy day, because they will set awry the months and the Sabbaths, the feasts and Jubilees. Therefore I shall command you, and I shall bear witness to you, so that you may bear witness to them. Because after you have died, your sons will be corrupted, so that they will not make a year only 364 days, and therefore they will set awry the months and the appointed times, and the Sabbaths and the feasts, and they will eat all of the blood with all the flesh. And in the 7th week, in the first year of that Jubilee, Noah planted a vine on the mountain on which the ark rested, whose name is Lubar, one of the mountains of Ararat. And it produced fruit in the 4th year, and he guarded its fruit, and he picked it in that year in the 7th month. And he made wine from it, and he put it in a vessel, and he guarded it until the 5th year, until the 1st day on the 1st of the 1st month. And on that day he made a feast with rejoicing, and he made a burnt offering to the Lord, one calf from the bulls, 1 ram, a lamb of 7 years, and 1 kid of the goats, in order that he might thereby seek atonement for himself and for his sons. And he prepared the kid first, and he placed some of its blood on the flesh which was on the altar which he had made. And all of the fat of the bull and the ram and the lamb were offered up upon the altar. And he made the burnt offering, and he offered up all of their flesh upon the altar. And he placed all of their sacrifice upon it, kneaded with oil. And after that he sprinkled wine in the fire which he had placed upon the altar. And he presented frankincense upon the altar, and offered up a sweet odor which is pleasing before the Lord his God, and rejoiced. And he drank some of that wine, he and his sons with rejoicing